In this moment, let go of everything you know. Let go of all your opinions and ideas. Let go of the image of your body. Let go of your history. Let go of thoughts of the future. Just let go of everything as you settle and sink into a deeper space of pure peace. Imagine your soul, your being, high up above the world, serene, silent, as mystically quiet as that sky. And allow this stillness to refresh the soul. To clear your mind so that you can have greater spiritual clarity. In addition to this silence, we also need to take a spiritual truth or concept and apply it in our daily life and contemplate it and think about it. So right now, as you watch the stars and the galaxy in front of you, simply have the thought, I am a spiritual being suspended in a world of form and matter. Just simply hold that thought. I am a peaceful spiritual being suspended in a world of form and matter. Observe the scene in front of you with that awareness. You can even walk through your day-to-day with that awareness, contemplating it, digesting it, allowing it to be like a filter you put on the lens through which you see the world. So instead of the filter of the past or of different personality traits, we put on the filter of a spiritual concept and look at the world through that filter every day. And each day it can be a new filter. But today you're simply having that thought, I'm a spiritual being suspended in a world of form. What does that feel like? And the last thing we need is to repeat those concepts and repeat that practice of silence every day. That repetition is essential to getting spiritual concepts as more than theories. The repetition is essential to get a concept so deeply that it naturally becomes the way you see the world. So silence, contemplation, and repetition. With these three, we can develop a wisdom that's natural and a truth that's more about the way that we exist and the quality of our being rather than just a concept or idea. Sitting quietly, I allow my body to completely relax. I draw my awareness up to a point of light that sits deep inside my forehead. I detach from the physical and fully become this being of light. My mind quiets, my thoughts slow down. In this expanse of inner silence, I experience the truth of who I really am. I am a soul, a tiny, sparkling star of light. I am a point of consciousness beyond anything physical. Free from all bondage, beyond all responsibility, worry, or concern. I experience myself to be a fortunate soul, a lucky and lovely being of light. My true state is deep peace. I am deeply soul conscious. My awareness expands outwards and upwards into a beautiful, never-ending world of golden red light. I am completely still. Before me emerges the most beautiful star of all, the supreme light. I am drawn to this light. I am pulled closer and closer. I become immersed in rays of peace and love. As I connect to this divine being, I fill myself with divine treasures of peace, happiness, contentment, love, and respect. Any virtue, any power I want is mine. I am a fortunate soul. I've discovered the limitless treasure store from which I can imbibe these inner treasures freely. There are no limits on love. The store is always open. I have the faith that these treasures of peace and love belong to me.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very warm welcome to Silicon Valley Brahma Kumaris. I'm Meghna, the host of this session. So today we will continue our next class on Instill and Increase Inner Peace. Last class, we kind of talked about what does it mean to be peaceful and, what are the various benefits of being peaceful? Why do we tend to give up peace? So we focused on some of those dimensions. We'll continue our discussions today on further understanding what are the root causes of peacelessness and how do we go about avoiding those, right? So as always, we'll get started with a short meditation. So request you all to join me. Let's sit comfortably. And for the next few minutes, let's see if we can keep the body as still as possible. Relax by taking few deep breaths in silence. It's time to be in our own sweet company. We've neglected ourselves, knowingly or unknowingly. And when the self is neglected, everything starts falling apart, whether it is the body, relationships, or work. So let's use the next few minutes in taking care and giving the self some rest. Peace is my birthright. I have the freedom to be peaceful. So let me check. Am I experiencing peace naturally throughout the day? Or do I feel somebody is preventing me? Something is causing me to not be peaceful. A bird, when it is flying freely up in the skies, it is such a pretty picture, so liberating, so lively, to be able to go anywhere, any moment. And the same bird, if it is put in a prison, a cage, even if that cage is diamond studded, golden cage, that bird looks weak and sad. We don't feel that excitement of looking at the bird when it is in a cage versus when it is flying freely in the sky. So it's possible that we who have the freedom, the right to be peaceful, might be putting ourselves in some golden cages of expectations, attachments, desires. We lock ourselves in the cage of all of these different aspects of life, branches of life, and then we blame others for robbing away our peace. But the moment I realize that I am the creator of peace, that I can create it any moment through my own thoughts and feelings, the door of the cage opens, and I, the beautiful bird, is free to fly and be peaceful once again. I don't need any reason to fly freely, that is to be peaceful. I don't want to put any conditions on being peaceful. I can keep changing my thoughts, my feelings, so that my inner treasure of peace remains intact. I, the soul, comes from the land of silence, nirvana, an imperishable home. I am the child of the most beautiful being, the ever pure, supreme soul, God Himself. He is the ocean of peace. So I inherit peace as my birthright. The more I become independent by using my own thoughts and feelings to create peace, I am out of the cage where I have expectations from others to be peaceful, or desires from the world to be peaceful. Visualize yourself being free, where you have the ability to experience the kind of emotions you want, where there are no bondages, no restrictions, free, peaceful. Only I can free myself from this cage. I can put myself back in the cage. I have a choice. We've been designed to freely and deeply experience abundant peace. so much that not only we are nourished by it, but anyone who comes in our presence can experience that serenity, that silence. I am no ordinary creation. I'm a deity of peace, the one who's stabilized in peace and is a bestower of peace. Welcome everyone to class number 2 of Instill and Increase Inner Peace. Today we will focus on root cause of peacelessness. We'll just start off by a very short kind of revision from last class. And as always, would love to get a lot of engagement from all of you. We'll continue to have a discussion-based class. And towards the end, we will save about last 5 to 7 minutes on Q&A if you have any. So please hold on to your questions towards the end. So just starting off, we kind of talked about laying the foundation of peace last time. And we'd identified that these are some critical building blocks, that peace is my birthright, meaning nobody can take it away from me. Nobody. They can take away, our physical wealth, they can take away our job, our relationships, maybe even ruin the body, but peace is within me. Nobody can take it away. And I'm the one who is the creator of peace. I can not only keep it with me, I can also donate it to others, because I can keep creating as much as I want. And it's also important to realize peace is my biggest power. Like all of you listed so many benefits last class on how powerful peace is. And peace is innate to me. It's my natural quality. So I am a peaceful soul, as peace is my decoration, garland around my own neck. So this is very important to remember. This finishes the victim and the blame game, or the postponement that one day I will be peaceful, maybe after retirement or some other time. No, peace is powerful. We all need it now. It is my natural quality. Plus I have the freedom to be peaceful, and I am the creator of peace. And then we started talking, what does it really mean to be peaceful? So there are like 2 types of silence, you can call it. We talked about this, like zero thoughts, right? Where the mind is not creating any thought at all. That is called dead silence. And this kind of silence really exists when the soul is without the body. That is, each one of us, when we are in our eternal home, nirvana, the land of silence, which is this golden red light filled region, full of these tiny star-like beings, that is the soul. And the other way to really experience peace is the sweet silence, which is created through pure thoughts. So the one who is creating a lot of pure thoughts, then that pure thoughts will lead to peaceful actions and peaceful life. This is called sweet silence. So if we think about our life in our day-to-day living, we cannot survive without thinking. Our mind is designed in such a way that it will keep creating thoughts. So if I want to say, oh my gosh, I want to be peaceful, I don't want any thought at all, that is, I want to experience dead silence, then it's just going to be very difficult, because during any problem, we need to create a thought, an idea, a different method. All of that is nothing but a bunch of thoughts. But the problem occurs when our mind creates negative or wasteful thoughts. That is when we lose our peace. And one of the things that is very fundamental to understanding this is like a lot of us use different ways to become peaceful, whether it is early morning walk in the nature, or it could be listening to music, or maybe chanting some mantra, praying, all of that, which are all good ways to actually experience momentary peace. But we need to realize none of these methods we are using give us a permanent, consistent, everlasting peace. You can, in fact, many people who are chanting mantra, they can barely experience peace even then, because their mouth might be saying some powerful words, but their mind is roaming around everywhere. There is no peace there. If I can stabilize it myself in the mantra I am chanting, that is, there are some powerful thoughts and good wishes. If my mind and heart is connected to that mantra, then yes, I can experience some peace. So the only way to really experience deep and consistent level of peace is I have to learn how to create pure thoughts. In our day-to-day living, we need thoughts, whether it is coming into a relationship, whether you are at work or you are in a crisis, whatever you are doing, we need to keep creating thoughts. But when our quality of thoughts is poor, that is when we lose our peace. So for me, really, in this first few months of me coming into Brahma Kumaris and taking the Raj Yoga meditation and everything, the first few weeks itself, I could experience a deep level of peace in me. And I didn't know what is this. I was not even looking for it. And it suddenly I could feel that. And it was because I was working at my thought level. I was changing the way I was thinking, and I could experience such beautiful, sweet silence within me because of those pure thoughts. So, want to ask you all a question here. What does purity mean? Because now we are talking about pure thoughts, and we will explore what exactly it means to create pure thoughts. So let's see if we can get some responses. What do you think purity means? Clean, positive thoughts. Very good. Non-judgmental thoughts. Clarity. No anger. What else? What is pure? Pure. What does that word pure mean to you? Okay. No ego, humility, forgiving. Very nice. Wonderful. This is, we, no ego. Many of you are saying that. That's very nice. All right. Very good. So because without purity, it is really not possible to experience deep level of peace and, consistent level of peace. So some ways to really look at purity is, there are many different ways to look at it, but few different ideas here. Like many of you said, free of negative thoughts. And so here, if my thoughts, like you can imagine any time, when you maybe somebody said something which was not very respectful, and if you also start creating a lot of negative thoughts about them, that how dare they talk like this to me, or something, some kind of aggression in the thought, immediately you can experience that your heart is racing, that your breathing has gotten heavy. It is pretty much this: the moment our thoughts venture into the negative territory, peace is out of our life. The moment our feelings are not good towards others, where our feelings not even good, even if they become ordinary, you will lose your peace. Again, like if you pay attention to somebody's weaknesses and think, oh my gosh, so clumsy. Look at the way they keep themselves. I can't believe anybody can be so clumsy. The moment your feelings towards others, thoughts towards others become negative, where you are judgmental, your feelings are no more pure, you've lost the respect for someone, then again, this is something to reflect upon. And we do this a lot with our day-to-day family members, the one with whom we interact on daily basis, maybe our colleagues. And if our thoughts and feelings about the ones we are living with or the ones we are interacting day in and day out are like this, we can forget about peace. It is not possible at all. Good wishes. Suppose a person indeed is clumsy. It's not like we are making it up. Indeed, they're very clumsy. Living in our own house, something or the other, they keep making it dirty. And if my thought is this person will never change, I can't believe nobody taught them anything. How can anybody be so clumsy? That is, I don't even have any hope for them. I've declared that this person is the clumsiest person, can never change. That means no good wishes, no hope. Gone. My peace is again gone. It is important to understand the subtle nature of our thoughts and feelings, how they disturb our emotions. Till we don't understand our own design, what causes us to get disturbed, and that disturbance, how much damage it does to us. Because we did see, when we lose peace, what are all the things we will lose? Focus is gone, concentration is gone, ability to make decisions is gone, ability to have good relationship, good life, everything is gone. Health gets affected. So if I want to really experience deep level of peace, I have to learn how to create positive thoughts, elevated feelings, good wishes, and then being selfless. Lot of our intentions in relationships are not at all selfless. Even simple things like we do for our family, could be the day-to-day chores, they are not selfless. We are expecting them to either praise us, thank us, or at least recognize us or help us. There is no selflessness there. So when these dimensions are missing in our life, then peace is also missing. So purity really has many deep components to it, but most fundamental is it has to be positive thoughts, elevated feelings, good wishes, and being selfless. Now, focusing on one of the main components, which actually all of those four are interconnected to each other. So if I focus on one of the dimensions, which is selflessness. Now, we all know the one who is needy cannot be selfless. So for example, a beggar, on a street, they can't be selfless. They need money. They themselves are lacking money. So they can't like selflessly give money to others because they themselves are seeking. Similarly, if I am the one who's seeking peace, love, and joy, I don't experience it. I'm seeking. I'm wanting others to give it to me. Then there is no way I can be selfless. The one who is incomplete, the one who is needy, cannot be selfless. And if I am not selfless, then I cannot experience that peace. So why do we become so needy? What is the reason for us to constantly seek from the external world? Why have we become such a big consumer? This is something to think about. But any guesses? Why have we become so needy? What has caused us to become very needy, selfish in many to lot of extent? What has caused us to become needy and selfish? Any guesses for that? Wants and desires. And why do we have so many wants and desires? Very right. Expectations from others are rising. That is very true. Very true. And that's why we are very needy, right? We have so many desires, wants, and expectations. So what is the main reason for those expectations and wants and all is we thought, yes, we think that peace, love is outside. Human look for pleasure everywhere to feel better for short time. Yes, there are instant gratification methods. Too many things we need. The need to compete in life, achieve a good job, etc. Very good. So not understanding self first. Yes. So when we think of ourselves as a body or bodily role, we become very needy. Because if you think about it, in our daily life, this body is a high maintenance. It constantly needs water, food, air, sunlight, rest. So much of decoration, lavishness, comfort, everything is for the body. You feed it in the morning, again it needs something. You give it some water, after some time it needs again. It is never a complete on its own. It needs lot of sustenance, maintenance. Similarly, when we think of ourselves as a bodily role, whether it is a parent, an engineer, or a female, could be anything, all the roles that are associated with the physical birth, each of these make us very, very dependent. If you think of yourself as a daughter, when can a daughter be peaceful? Will immediately, or when can she be happy? When her parents are respecting her, taking care of her, giving her a lot of attention. That is when the daughter is happy and she gets the most love. The moment none of those criteria meet, that is, she on her own cannot be peaceful or happy. She needs her parents to do something to feel that. Same way, think of yourself as an engineer. Can an engineer be happy on their own? No, the manager has to give them all important projects. The manager has to recognize, colleagues have to cooperate, and all the results should be positive. That is when the engineer will be happy. So there are too many conditions that need to be met, lot of expectations the body has, the bodily role has. They don't know on their own to be happy. And that is why it is impossible for us to experience peace independently if we think of ourselves as a body. When will a body be happy? When it is healthy. Can I guarantee that I'll remain healthy forever? No. Or maybe when my body looks beautiful, can I guarantee the beauty of the body? We all know no. Although cosmetic industry is trying very hard to say, hey, we can preserve the beauty of your body. So each of these elements, when we identify ourselves as a body or a bodily role, we become very, very needy. So that is why when we become needy, there is no way I can experience peace, because it depends. If the body is healthy, then I will be peaceful. If my manager is treating me well, then I will be peaceful. Meaning I on my own cannot be peaceful. That is the nature of this identity. And not only that, like the more we identify ourselves as body, which one of you said, soul consciousness versus body consciousness. So when I am stabilized in my physical dimension only, when I see myself as a body or the bodily role, then instead of being peaceful, actually, we move towards peacelessness. Lot of desires, like many of you said, desires and expectations, they increase in us. If I think of myself as the dearest daughter, I will have lot of expectations from my parents. I will want them to behave with me certain way. I will want them to give me a lot of time, money, attention, love. Same way, if I think of myself as a female, I will want a lot of other things from people. So the moment I think of myself as this, immediately there are a lot of desires in me, expectations from people, expectations from the world, so that I can stabilize in my identity. And then greed increases in us. Suppose my parents give me love and attention I'm looking for, or my manager gives me a lot of recognition, gives me all the important projects. I get greedy. Man, that felt so good, getting so much love from my parents. I want more. How else can I get that more love and attention from my parents? Or what else can I do to please my manager so that he gives me 10 more projects? So that greed increases in us. And attachment. See, if my parents are giving me a lot of love, I now get very attached to them. I have to see them every day. I need to be around them because they are the source of my love. I can only experience love when my parents are around because they give me a lot of care, attention, and appreciation. And then anger too, when my desires don't get met. Suppose I'm expecting from my parents some phone call or something to check on me and they didn't call me. And they seem to be calling all my siblings, but except me. I am jealous, I am angry, I'm resentful. Lot of these emotions which are exact opposite of peace. Desires means your mind is wandering everywhere. There is no peace in a mind who is full of desires. Greed is I have enough, but I still want more. And I'm never satisfied. That kind of a mind can never be peaceful. Attachment creates all kinds of insecurities in us. Oh, what will happen if my parents move far away, or if they leave? If one of them dies, what am I going to do? And anger, we all know, it's a boiling state of mind where there is absolutely no peace at all, or the ego. Suppose my parents end up loving me the most, and there are other siblings that don't get all the attention. I feel, oh wow, I'm the most dear child in this entire family. I'm the favorite. So I feel very egoistic. And I might be even rubbing it off on the siblings, telling them, you know what, the parents have been calling me so much. They've given me this, they've given me that. So then starts all kinds of comparison and competition. So we can forget about peace. We can forget about peace if we are thinking of ourselves as a body or a bodily being. Instead of moving towards peace, we actually day by day might be moving towards more peacelessness. So who can be selfless, right? We automatically we want to know if there is anyone who can be selfless. And automatically the one who is self-sufficient. Obviously a beggar can never give money, right? They themselves are looking for money. So we can't expect a beggar to start donating money or bestowing it on others. We will say, are you crazy? He himself needs. So same way, I have to stabilize myself in an identity that is self-sufficient, whose design is complete, who's already rich with peace, love, and joy. The identity of a physical nature, which is either body or the bodily role, is a needy identity. incomplete identity, the one that has to be dependent on people, results, objects. Such an identity can never experience peace or purity. So where there is dependency, there will be selfishness. And where there is independence, that I can create my own peace, then I have no selfish motives, no selfish agenda, because my peace I can create. I don't need anybody. But I'm here because I have so much peace, so much love in me. I want to share it with others. So purity and selflessness really kind of go hand in hand. Where there is selflessness, that is, your intentions are pure, benevolent, then automatically your thoughts, feeling, and wishes will be all elevated. You don't even have to work hard towards it. So the only being that is self-sufficient is the soul, this tiny point of light that sits here behind the forehead, deep within the forehead, between the hypothalamus and pituitary gland intersection. So each one of us is this tiny point of light, a being of eternity, the one who is always around, cannot be created nor can be destroyed. And it's not just that I am this beautiful energy soul, but I am a fantastic creation with lot of inner richness. So soul has all the virtues that are possible. It has all the powers and the virtues already within it. So the more I see myself as a soul who is complete, this is something that I have to churn and churn and churn and sit in meditation and practice myself as I, the soul, is the creator of peace. I have every virtue because I inherit from my eternal parent this beautiful spiritual light, God Himself. So when we see our inner richness and when we start experiencing our inner richness, then that neediness that we have, which causes us to become selfish, greedy, that will automatically go away. Soul also has 3 faculties, and I'm just going to introduce this. Some of you might already know all of these concepts, but just for maybe a quick revision, it has 3 subtle tools or faculties called mind, intellect, and subconscious. So the mind is the one that creates thoughts, feelings, desires. And intellect, it has 2 functions. One is it's a short-term memory space. So anything fresh you read or attend a class, everything is stored in the short-term memory. And when we use that knowledge that we stored in our short-term memory in our day-to-day actions, then that gets recorded in the subconscious. It becomes an impression. So anytime we enact, we come into interaction or an action, then the recording of that, the essence of that action and experience is recorded here in the subconscious. And the second function of the intellect, which is also the conscious mind, it is called the conscious mind too, is the ability to discern, make decisions. It's also associated with intention and motives. And subconscious, like we just talked about, it's a repository. It has all the storage of all the experiences we've had in this birth or previous birth, but only the essence of it is stored. And it's important to recognize these 3 subtle faculties because we will use them in our upcoming classes. Also, few more concepts, because we will, after that we will pause, like another 5 or 10 minutes, we will pause for question and answers. Now, sources of thoughts that lead to emotions, right? Our mind, we want to create here pure thoughts, positive thoughts. Now, in order to do that, how do I change these thoughts to be more positive and more pure? So these thoughts are being pushed to the mind from the conscious mind, the intellect that we just talked about, and the subconscious mind. And majority of us, the thoughts are being pushed from the subconscious mind. That is, whatever I have thought in the past, my mind continues to think like that forever or most of the times. 90% of our thoughts are driven by the subconscious mind. And then some part of it is from the conscious mind. So this is a major influencer on the mind. Now, how is the conscious mind getting its own thoughts? It is coming from the new content I'm feeding my mind. This new content could be from social media, from TV, from chit-chatting with people, could be reading some book or attending some classes. But suppose if I'm only feeding myself, new information is all negative and garbage. That means I'm pushing that negative food content to my mind. And what is this subconscious mind? How is it made of? It is basically something that we had already fed ourselves before. This is typically all the beliefs, all our past experiences, our personality traits, our habits, traits from old and previous lives too. All of that is being pushed to the mind too. And then once the mind digests all the food, it releases energy in the form of thoughts and emotions. So if I want to keep my thoughts pure, suppose in the past, my upbringing or whatever variety of experience I had, suppose most of my thoughts are only impure. That is all I created, and my subconscious is filled with negative thoughts. Then the only way for the mind to catch positive thoughts is through the conscious mind, because this is already what I have done. Not very easy to change. The other way to get to the mind is feed positive content to yourself every day, whether it is reading something empowering, listening something empowering, or attending some powerful classes. That way, my mind is getting positive food. Then it will create positive thoughts and emotions. So I just wanted to see, what is the state of the mind? A question for all of you. What is the state of mind when we are body conscious, that we are thinking of ourselves as a body or bodily role? What is the state of mind? If you had to describe it in one word, what would you say the state of mind would be in body consciousness? Very good. Very good. Thank you all for participating so well. Think not decided. Yes. Indecisive. Very true. Wonderful. So we have many, many different ideas, and it's important whenever you think of yourself as mother and you're getting very attached, notice how your thoughts are. They're very disturbed. All of these identities they cause us to become very dependent on others, and then we become angry, then we get filled with a lot of desires, then our mind is wandering, like many of you said, is confused, indecisive. So body consciousness actually leads to lot of peacelessness in the mind. That is the root cause, because body consciousness makes us very selfish, needy beings. We don't feel complete. We feel others are responsible to keep me full. And when others don't fulfill that responsibility, we get very mad at them. So like some of you already said, the mind is very confused. I'm always thinking, should I do this? Should I not do this? I don't know whether I'm thinking right. Maybe I should do it, but what will people say? And so on. So we are literally stuck. We don't know what to do anymore because we are just entangled inside with too many ideas. Many people who are stuck like this, they don't make any decisions. I've known people who've had some serious illnesses, and they go through multiple tests, go and show themselves to multiple doctors. Some doctors will say, get the surgery done. Other will say, not that, do something else. And they get so scared. They decide, I will live with this illness forever. I don't want to make a decision, because what if that decision is wrong? So it's a very disturbing state of mind, which is preventing you from taking care of your own health, because you are scared, you are stuck. Second one, state. These are different states of the mind. Wandering mind. There's also, some of you already mentioned, where I might be typing and doing something at work, and then my mind is visiting Timbuktu or some other vacation spot, is in Hawaii, is in Honolulu, is everywhere. It's going everywhere, it is in India. I cannot focus at all. And this scene, I'm sure you've seen it in your house. We are done with dinner, we go and sit ourselves in front of the TV. The mind will say, hey, why don't you get some popcorn or some snacks? Oh, I just had dinner, but it's okay, get something. We'll go, we'll just come back, and the mind will say, why don't you get something to drink? But I don't need. No, it's okay, get something. We'll again go run, get some drinks. Then the mind will say, why don't you call someone? I'm watching TV, I'm eating, I'm drinking. This mind is wandering. It keeps telling me, do this, then you'll be peaceful, do that, then you'll be happy, do this, and you'll feel better. Then I will call someone. No, I'm on the phone, I'm watching, I'm eating, I'm drinking. Then the mind will say something else. There is no end to this. We've become really more of slaves to the mind. Whatever it tells, we are doing. We don't know how to control it anymore. And that is why people say mind is like a wild horse, cannot be trained. It is not true at all. These are all lame excuses to not own our own, not own our own mind. That is, be responsible for it. Take care of it. Last state of the mind is a purposeless mind. See, all the ideas you've mentioned is also very true. We're just focusing on these 3 dimensions, which pretty much covers a lot of the other things we are talking about. The one that is angry is confused mind or is wandering mind. Purposeless mind. For me, I've obviously gone through all of these 3 states of mind in the past. And this was also one of them, purposeless. Randomly doing many things in life. Why am I doing? I have no idea. There were times where I would be dead tired and I would be throwing a social get together or a big party kind of thing at home, inviting many friends and family members. I would be tired actually. And I'd say, why are you even doing it? No, it will be fun. Well, it used to be a little bit fun, but a lot of work. And I really didn't feel so happy after that. If I think back now, that time I didn't know. Purposelessly do. Get involved in many projects. Go and keep increasing your social network. You're not even able to manage whatever you have, but keep adding more and more people to your network. And then more and more people are complaining, Meghna, you don't see me anymore. So aimlessly, everybody is doing, I'll also do. But what are you getting from all of that? No idea. So my time, my energy, my money is all going in different directions, but I have no clue what they will bring back to me. In fact, they were not bringing back anything to me. I was getting robbed of my peace, love, and joy by aimlessly roaming around. So we need some kind of anchor, right? Otherwise, it's just copycatting everyone without understanding what is in it for me. So such a mind which has no anchor, today it is here, tomorrow it is there, tomorrow it is doing something else, constantly moving around, I will never be peaceful. We need an anchor to experience some peace. So very, very critical. So we will in next week kind of start solutioning on how do we instill peace now that we know body consciousness and what this does to our mind. We will start creating some solutions in the next two classes on how to change and make our mind more stable. I want to now pause and see if anybody has any thoughts or would like to share any experiences. Please raise your hand and we can unmute you. Yes, Selena, please go ahead.
Hi, I actually had two questions.
Yeah.
So the first question I have is, I just wrote down, we live in a world where everybody is, I know so many people, in their late 20s working hard, trying to work hard in their job. We live in a very competitive, challenging life. They're working hard, they're earning and they're saving. We feel it's important to buy a house. We want to look after our parents and our health and earn enough to have children. I suppose, how can you find peace in a world like this? And maybe you'll touch on more on this next week. And how can we find more of a permanent peace rather than momentarily? And also, how can you remain peaceful, but people are still motivated to achieve these goals that we've set out for us in life? So it's a sort of two-part question.
Yeah. Absolutely. We will be talking more about instilling peace and increasing it in the next two classes. One of the things, don't mind my saying, but it is a royal excuse we give to ourselves that we have so many aspirations, goals, and objectives. There's so much we need to do and accomplish. How can we be peaceful? Being ambitious doesn't mean I can't be peaceful. But that ambition that doesn't have the balance of contentment, where I'm not celebrating what all I have already accomplished, that I'm already in a good place. But I, the soul, is an adventurer. I'm an ambitious being. I want to improve, which is a part of being humble, that I never consider myself to be at the top. I always want to keep climbing those ladders, not in a restless and a wild hunger kind of a manner, but really with lot of inner satisfaction. I want to keep being a better version of myself. So yes, I want to move forward, but it doesn't disturb me when I'm not able to move forward, because so far my journey has been beautiful. I'm already in a great place, but I want to keep going further. So there you will maintain your patience. So it's very different.
Is it a case of like gratitude for where you are and, feeling, if you have good health and, feeling grateful for your good health, or you have a job, feeling grateful that you have a job, but because the next person will be looking for a job. And so I suppose, is it these small things that enhance peace?
It does, but I think for me, the biggest thing is to realize that how powerful peace is. Without that, I can't go further. this mad rush or hunger kind of ambition destroys us. It causes lot of imbalance where we invest too much at work or too much at elsewhere, and there is no balance then. So there has to be that ambition, but not without that satisfaction of where we are, that I don't want to lose my peace at the cost of being ambitious. So peace is the one that anchors us to remain stable and balanced, and then keep taking those steps forwards, and also remembering that I am the creator of peace. I should be able to create it. So yes, gratitude certainly helps. But it's more of the realization of the power of peace and not postponing it, that hey, how can I be peaceful, right? So yeah, all the recordings are available. Some of you posted on the chat on the YouTube. If you look for Silicon Brahma Kumaris, you'll find it. And Pallavi sister, if you could also please post the link to the YouTube channel, I would appreciate that. So all the recordings, these classes are being streamed to YouTube. Any other thoughts? Maybe we can take one more if anybody has a thought or any other idea they would like to share. Looks like no other questions. So here is the link to the YouTube channel for Brahma Kumaris, where there are all the playlists. You should be able to find all the previous recordings as well. All right, if there are no more thoughts or questions, we can maybe use the next 1 minute or so for meditation. If you have time, please stay back. I am a star-like being, invisible, yet my feelings, my thoughts, my emotions are visible on my face, the body. At every moment, I, the soul, is giving life to this body, which is made out of mud. It is non-living. But what kind of expression do I want to give? I have a choice. When I, the soul, is peaceful, then my face glows. There is a serenity, a beautiful smile. But when my thoughts are filled with impatience or irritation, then the expression of my face is dull, disturbing. So even though I, the tiny point of light, is invisible, everything that I am doing becomes visible, and people call it a good action or a bad action. But the basis for it is my thoughts. So when I make my thoughts pure, positive, elevated, then peace becomes my best friend. I have the freedom to be peaceful when I keep the responsibility of creating pure, positive, and elevated thoughts. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Hope you have a peaceful week ahead. I'll see you again next week. Take care everyone. Om Shanti.